Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video to talk about today. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit for it, only because I'm planning on doing a series of these videos because of a great comment that I had answered this morning, and I liked it. And I realized, you know what? There's a lot of new people to stacking out there. And they've got into stacking because they either A, seen the price climb to a really high level, and they're recognizing now that something's going on, and they want to get gold and silver under their belts. I've talked to more and more people lately that are newer to the stacking. You know, a lot of us that have been following the channel for a long time, we've been stacking for so long that essentially we know what's going on. We know how they're watering down the money. They're making the money worth less and less by printing more and more of it. And therefore, eventually all currencies will go to their actual value, which is zero. It's a sheet of paper. What separates this dollar right here from another sheet of paper? I mean, you know, some people might joke and say, oh, it's not paper, it's cotton paper, because it is made out of a cotton paper weaved together. However, what really makes it worth anything is the fact that it's backed by the United States government and their promise that you will always be able to spend this for $1. And to a point, that's true. You will always be able to spend it for $1. But what will that dollar buy you? It's not going to buy you as much. So today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that and more about the fundamentals. But I'm also going to be doing a series of videos that really breaks down the concept of money in the form of why more and more people are going to gold and silver and why they're getting away from paper. I mean, this is $1, but what's stopping them from going to $1 million? I mean, they could go to any amount they want, and this $1 million won't even buy you a cup of coffee now. I mean, it's literally, if I was to buy this somewhere, I'd pay like 20 cents in shipping. I mean, it's crazy. Because they're making so much of it, you know, so you really have to kind of understand the fundamentals of stacking. And I know a lot of people that have been following the channel for a long time understand that, you know, you pick up a little bit here, you pick up a little bit there about the knowledge of stacking, but there's not really many places that you can, like books that you can just read that gives you the full concept of everything, in my opinion, because we learn this little by little. I mean, I learned by watching a lot of videos. I first learned from someone that he explained it to me, but I laughed at him because I thought it was nonsense. Why would anybody buy a coin for $5? It's an ounce of silver. Whoop-de-doo. Or even worse, a gold one when they were $400. Why would you buy a coin for $400 just because it's made out of gold? That doesn't make sense. Now, fast forward today, and here we all are buying gold coins for $2,400 minimum because of the gold price, or a silver coin for 30 bucks roughly. You know, why? What changed between then and now? Well, what changed for me was the fact that now I have more understanding of what silver and gold is and how it's real money. But you learn that over time from just doing the fundamentals and looking at what happened in history and how it's slowly repeating itself. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it today. I know for a lot of you guys that have been following the channel for a long time, you've been stacking for so long that you probably are looking at it like, you know, I already understand the basics, but you never know. You might pick up something in this video that maybe you didn't think of before and make it a little easier for you to talk about when a friend asks you. Now, even if this video is not for you, if you would, I do ask that you take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me right below. It really does help me out because it helps the videos get seen by people. Now, right here in front of you, oh, and leave me a comment. I love reading y'all's comments because it's your comments that drive the next videos. So right here, this is just a 1963, I think, is it 63? Yeah, 63 half dollar. You know, you look at this and some of y'all might be like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's worth some good money. I've seen these sell $12, $15. I think the melt value on it's probably $10. But why is it worth even $10? It's just a 50-cent piece. It's not super old, 1963. I mean, it was actually a common year. It was one of the years they made the most Benjamin Franklins, I think. Now, I'm not a coin collector, so I don't have this because, oh, it's a collectible. You know, this is just a beat up Franklin $50. But what it is it's silver. And you can tell that it's silver because when you look at the brim of any coin, you can see one of two things. Either you can see the copper in it, see how that has copper in it, or you can see that it's silver all the way through. Now, this is a 90% silver coin. Now, the real reason you don't see these anymore is because people understand that silver has value. All commodities have value, whether it's copper, wheat, corn, oil, anything. So as those commodities go up in value, them commodities are the building blocks of everything we buy. Whether it be the camera that I'm filming this on, whether that be the bed sheets or the comforter that you have on your bed or the desk or whatever, or the food you eat. And as commodities go up in value, obviously the stuff that those commodities are used to make go up in value too. And so silver, just like any other commodity, it is an item that's used for tons of building and material items, whether it be cell phones, computers, dental, in the old days, silverware, but also people are buying it up. But they're buying it up in, I won't say collectible form, but they're buying it up in the form of actual silver bullion, because they recognize that this is going to go up. Now, what other commodities can you actually buy and store? Now, so this question comes up a lot. Well, you could just do that with anything. Can you? Can you go out and buy $5,000 worth of oil? Where would you put it? Would you put it in barrels in your backyard? I mean, you'd probably have someone call the EPA on you. Could you put it in a swimming pool? You probably could, but it probably would be a little weird. But who knows? They'd probably still call the EPA on you. Could you just store wheat and corn? Those are probably going to go up in value over the years. You could, but then you'd have probably some sort of a rat or mouse infestation. And it wouldn't keep. It would go bad. So as the assets, as the commodities go up in value, there's not a whole lot of commodities that you can buy that will retain value or continue to climb in value. Now, silver is one of them items because right now, an ounce of silver is actually trading at roughly $27, we'll say, spot price. Someone may correct me and say, oh, it's $26.80 or $27.20 or something like that. We'll say $27. But here's the thing. When I started stacking these, when I first heard about them, not this specific one, but just any 1 ounce of silver, you could get an ounce of silver for $5. An ounce of gold was $400. Now, granted, this was not that far back. This was in 2000. I was stationed in the Middle East, and I've talked about my Middle East story and how someone convinced me to buy a pure 2-ounce gold necklace. And at the time it was $800. And I was like, that's insane. Why would you pay $800 for a necklace? But he convinced me to at least buy that. It looked cool. It had tangible value. It was tangible wealth. And if I ever got put in a position while I was over there to where I couldn't get out of it, a gold necklace might be enough to get you out of that situation. And so therefore I bought the necklace, and I still have it. Now that necklace easily $5,000. Why? Because it's 2 ounces of pure gold. Now, some people actually will say, oh, should I be buying gold then? Gold necklaces, gold chains. Back then you'd see a lot of, in the Middle East, it's all pure gold. It's 20, they use pure, 24 straight. Here in the United States, I mean, now I don't even go to the pawn shop and see 22 karat gold. Why? Because it's so expensive. I don't really see 20 karat gold that often. I do see a lot of 10 karat. I've actually seen 8 karat now. Some people just get gold plated. I mean, they're taking the value out of everything. Why? Because they understand that this stuff's going up. And if they can make you a cheaper product and charge you the same amount of money and convince you it's the same quality, they will. You know, you look at almost anything. The food, it's less in the package now. The clothing, you run it through the wash too many times and it starts getting rotted. That's actually a term I actually just learned. So I was like, man, why does my clothes seem like it keeps ripping? Well, they make it thinner and thinner and the detergents will eat it up. You know, so as everything is getting made cheaper and cheaper, having the building blocks that make this stuff up is really where the money is. Now, eventually, this will continue to climb in price, and a lot of it does go up in price because what we're using, what we're doing to our money. There's only so much silver and gold in the world. Therefore, you can't just make an infinite amount of coins. They couldn't keep printing unlimited amounts of gold, $5 gold coins or $1 silver eagles. Why? Because there's just not enough of it. So they convinced people, I'm going to pull this out real quick, to switch over from maybe a peace dollar or Morgan dollar or a couple of silver half dollars to take this piece of paper. And over time, at first, nobody really realized it. They were like, well, that's, you know, 2 of these will buy me the same as this. And it was true at first. It did. You know, I could go to the grocery store with this probably in 1965 and get 10 cans of soup. And I could go to the grocery store with 2 of these and get 2 cans of soup. However, what happens today when you go to the grocery store and get 10 cans of soup? You ain't going to get them 10 cents a can or 5 for a half dollar. I think I said a minute ago, I think I said that incorrectly when I said 2 cans, 10 cans. Because soup was only 10 cents a can. But now, soup's not 10 cents a can. You can't go to the grocery store and buy a can of soup for 10 cents. They'd laugh at you. But can you? Well, what if all of a sudden you had 2 of these versus 1 of these? Well, can I buy 10 cans of soup with 2 of these? Well, yes, you can actually, but not in the same way that you would think. This right here, the amount of silver that's in here, has roughly a $10 value. Well, you take 2 of them, that's $20 value. You could probably get 10 cans of soup for $20. You may not get the Primo brand that you like or whatever the case may be, but you can definitely get soup. I was looking right here because I actually have some silver dimes right here. And I know for a fact that you would have no problem selling one of these dimes, not because of what's on it. Just, I mean, I could beat this up, melt it down into a little bead of silver, and it would still buy me a can of soup because someone would pay me $2 for this much silver because the silver is the money. And so as that continues to happen, this will keep going up, soup will keep going up, everything will keep going up, and you will need a whole lot more of this to end up buying something you want, to a point where you might need $1 million to buy a cup of coffee. And that's literally the way it is. Now, we're going to talk more about this in upcoming videos. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. I thank you for watching, commenting, and hit that subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I will see you guys again on T-Square Talk. Y'all have a great day. Take care, everybody, and have a good one. We're almost at the weekend. Bye-bye.